Aaron, thank you. 6:32, all new for you this morning. We know so many of you spend a lot of time searching for the perfect daycare, which is why the 7 Eyewitness News I-Team is launching a new series called Investigation DAYCARE. We're working to do some of the hardest work for you. Each week, we'll look at the state inspection reports for different daycares in our area. And this morning, we start in Buffalo. Inside Cookieland Daycare on Barthel Street in Buffalo, Vivian Barton, the owner, could have her provider license revoked. Her daycare closed because of more than a dozen violations New York State investigators found last month.
I've learned a lesson. Absolutely.
Some of those violations include leaving children without competent supervision and instead with a caregiver who was watching over too many kids, disregarding proper child-adult ratios. You admit that happened?
It did happen. It's not like I left the premises. I was upstairs, but she told me I cannot leave out my house, period. But now that I know that I cannot leave the premises, I will not leave the premises unless the ratio is correct.
But beyond that, there's one violation on this list that stands out. Any intentional display of physical or verbal force which would give a state inspector reason to fear or expect bodily harm is prohibited.
She's talking about my husband. He said, are you giving my wife a hard time? And she said, no, I'm not. And back up away from my car. She already was mad because of her inspection with me. I had pissed her off, I could tell. She was intimidated. Why, I don't know, because she was going through my house like narco looking for drugs.
As a result of these violations, the state told the I-Team, quote, the program's history of noncompliance prompted OCFS to move to revoke the license and notify the operator. They may request a hearing within 30 days where they can present any corrections to violations.
They got to do what they got to do. I apologize for the errors I made. That's all I can do, and try to do better. And I do try to do better.
In the meantime, we should mention that Barton is in fact allowed to stay open and care for these children while the process continues. Barton says she provides these children an escape, considering, as she says, they come from families that have fallen on tough times.